Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family. Because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
What happens when a casual live stream turns into the biggest shock in Chinese entertainment this year? In an unexpected twist, Liu Yuning invited Zhao Lusi's father to speak live, and together they revealed painful truths that fans never imagined. Stay with us on Update X24H, because what you're about to hear could reshape the future of the entire industry.
Under the dazzling lights of Chinese entertainment, Zhao Lusi has become a household name. Audiences across Asia and beyond admire her for her warmth, her charm, and the way she effortlessly brings characters to life on screen. Her rise seemed like a dream, the kind of success story that fans celebrate with joy and pride. Yet behind the smiles and the glamorous appearances, a different reality has been quietly unfolding. It was in one unassuming live stream, a moment that should have been simple and lighthearted, that the truth finally surfaced. Liu Yuning, known not only for his music and acting, but also for his rare honesty in an industry often ruled by silence, made a choice that no one expected. He invited Zhao Lusi's father to join him, giving the audience a glimpse into a world rarely exposed to public view. The scene was raw, heavy with emotion. Instead of scripted lines or polished images, viewers saw a father's trembling voice, his eyes carrying years of frustration and heartbreak. He spoke not as a celebrity's parent, but as a man who had watched his daughter pour her energy and youth into her craft, only to be caught in contracts that seemed to drain more than they gave. The entertainment industry, so often admired for its glamour, revealed its darker side in those moments. It was not about fame or fortune anymore. It was about the very human struggle for fairness, dignity, and truth. Liu Yuning's decision to hand over his platform was more than a gesture of support. It was an act of defiance, a refusal to let silence continue to protect the powerful. For the first time, fans were not just entertained. They were drawn into a confrontation with the hidden machinery of the business. What began as a casual interaction transformed into a powerful reminder that behind every adored actress and beloved performance lies a person, a family, and a story that demands to be heard. This was not the glittering introduction that anyone expected, but it was the moment that gave depth to Zhao Lusi's public image and courage to the conversation that followed. The revelations that unfolded during the live stream carried a weight no one could have anticipated. As Zhao Lusi's father began to speak, the tone of the broadcast shifted entirely. His words were not rehearsed or softened for public consumption. They poured out with the kind of raw honesty that can only come from years of silent endurance. He painted a picture that stunned viewers, describing how his daughter, despite her fame, her relentless work ethic, and the admiration she had earned from millions, was trapped in a system designed to exploit rather than protect. The agency that had promised to guide her career had instead withheld her rightful earnings, manipulated the fine print of contracts, and built a web of obligations that made her financial independence almost impossible. For fans who had always believed that success equaled security, this was a revelation that cut deep. The thought that an actress as beloved and successful as Zhao Lusi could be struggling behind closed doors was more than shocking. It was heartbreaking. The father's voice broke as he recalled the countless nights of watching his daughter work tirelessly, giving every ounce of her energy to projects that lit up screens across the country, only to come home burdened by numbers that never added up. His words were heavy with pain, but also with a quiet strength, the determination of a parent who could no longer watch injustice continue unchecked. What made the moment unforgettable was not only the exposure of unfair practices, but the sheer vulnerability laid bare before millions of viewers. There was no hiding behind public relations statements or glossy magazine covers. Instead, there was a father who could not stay silent, revealing the kind of truth that challenges the very foundations of an industry. Liu Yuning's presence made it all the more powerful. By simply listening and allowing the truth to be spoken, he turned his platform into a space of accountability, one where the human cost of exploitation could no longer be ignored. This was not just a story of contracts and money. It was the unveiling of a deeper injustice, one that resonates with anyone who has ever felt powerless against a system too large to fight. The revelation struck a chord that transcended entertainment gossip, reminding everyone that behind the fame lies a person, vulnerable and human, deserving of fairness and respect. The reaction from the public was immediate and overwhelming, spreading like wildfire across digital platforms and news outlets. What began as a moment of unexpected honesty quickly transformed into a nationwide conversation, and then into a global one. Fans who had long admired Zhao Lusi were outraged at the thought of their beloved actress being denied the rewards of her hard work. Messages of support poured in, flooding comment sections, with words of encouragement and anger toward the agency that had betrayed her trust. Social media timelines filled with hashtags demanding justice, trending not only in China, but also in Korea, Japan, Southeast Asia, Europe, and even North America. For many, it was no longer just about Zhao Lusi. It was about every artist who had ever been silenced, every performer who had worked tirelessly, while others reaped the benefits of their effort. The emotional connection between fans and Zhao Lusi deepened in those hours. Viewers felt her pain as though it were their own, sensing the injustice of someone so widely adored, still being trapped in a system of exploitation. The image of her father's trembling words lingered in their minds, igniting both sympathy and fury. Online communities organized themselves almost instantly, with groups of fans calling for boycotts of the agency's projects, demanding accountability from the very institutions that had allowed such practices to persist. It was not just noise, it was a coordinated outcry, powered by millions of people who refused to let the story fade away. Beyond the fan base, other celebrities began to speak out. Some cautiously hinted at their own struggles, while others openly admitted that Zhao Lusi's story reflected experiences they themselves had endured. Their voices added fuel to the fire, transforming one actress's plight into a broader indictment of the entire entertainment industry. What might have been dismissed as a personal conflict was now being framed as a collective demand for change. The courage shown in that live stream gave others the permission they had long sought to share their own truths. News outlets quickly picked up the story, amplifying the wave of reaction even further. International audiences, many of whom had followed Zhao Lusi through dramas and films translated into their own languages, found themselves invested in her struggle. The scandal had transcended borders, creating a sense of shared outrage and solidarity. For fans, it was more than entertainment. It was a fight for fairness, dignity, and respect, and they were determined to stand by her side until those values were restored. Zhao Lusi's agency remained silent, offering no denial, no explanation. That silence spoke louder than words. Experts now suggest that this case could spark legal investigations, reforms, and even government intervention. Imagine the consequences. Agencies forced to reveal transparent contracts. Artists finally free to claim what is rightfully theirs. A generation of young talents no longer trapped by unfair deals. This isn't just drama. It could be history in the making. Of course, all eyes also turned to Liu Yuning. He risked his reputation, his partnerships, even his career. But by standing beside Zhao Lusi's family, he showed that sometimes, speaking truth is worth more than fame. For fans, he is no longer just a performer. He has become a symbol of courage, a voice for justice. And that raises a bigger question. Will more celebrities step forward? Or will they remain silent, fearing the power of the agencies that control their futures? The live stream that began with laughter ended with tears, anger, and hope. Hope that Zhao Lusi's story might light a fire strong enough to change an industry. Hope that artists, not agencies, will one day hold the power. But the story is far from over. What happens next could define the future of Chinese entertainment for years to come. So we ask you, do you believe this scandal will force real change? Or will it be silenced like so many before it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching Update X24H. If you found this story powerful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you the latest updates, the untold stories, and the truth behind the headlines. Stay tuned, because this is only the beginning.